Imagine, your marriage is going perfectly fine today. But a few months or years later, things start falling apart. And the worst part? You don't even know why it's happening. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, already warned us about these mistakes. Yet, most people ignore them until it's too late. Marriage is supposed to be a source of love, peace, and tranquility. Yet, every day, thousands of couples who once vowed to stand by each other find themselves drifting apart. Divorce rates are rising, and many marriages fall apart not because of big issues, but due to small, unnoticed mistakes that slowly destroy the bond. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the best example of how to maintain relationships, warned us about specific mistakes that can ruin a marriage. Yet, many people ignore these prophetic teachings, only to realize their importance when it's too late. If you're married, engaged, or planning to marry one day, you must know these mistakes, because avoiding them could be the difference between a happy, lasting marriage and a painful separation. Respect is the foundation of any strong relationship. Without it, a marriage begins to crumble from within. When a husband and wife fail to show mutual respect, it leads to frustration, resentment, and an emotional distance that can eventually destroy the bond. Respect is not just about politeness, it's about valuing your partner's opinions, emotions, and individuality. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, made it clear that respecting your spouse is essential to the success of a marriage. In one famous hadith, he stated, "The best of you are those who are the best to their wives." This teaches us that respect is not optional in a marriage, it's a requirement. When we neglect this, we ignore a crucial part of our relationship with our spouse. When respect fades, it can manifest in several harmful ways. Small gestures of disrespect, like ignoring feelings or belittling one another, create an atmosphere of emotional neglect. Over time, this can lead to anger, feelings of worthlessness, and ultimately, the breakdown of the relationship. A lack of respect breeds conflict and bitterness, leaving both partners dissatisfied and unfulfilled. The good news is that respect can be rebuilt. It starts with acknowledging past mistakes and making a conscious effort to understand and honor each other's differences. Communicate openly, listen actively, and show empathy. It's about treating your partner with kindness, even when times are tough. By re-establishing respect, couples can reignite the love and connection they once shared. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship, yet it's often the first thing to break down in a marriage. When couples stop talking, they stop understanding each other. Misunderstandings, frustrations, and emotional disconnect begin to take root. Silence, when used as a defense mechanism, only breeds isolation. Without communication, partners drift away emotionally, and problems pile up without resolution. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized the importance of open, honest, and respectful communication in marriage. In his famous sayings, he advised that couples should express their feelings, listen to one another, and seek mutual understanding. A marriage where partners don't communicate is one that becomes susceptible to misunderstanding and eventual heartbreak. Poor communication can lead to many issues, from feelings of neglect to deeper emotional wounds. When partners aren't sharing their thoughts and feelings, it creates a void that is often filled with assumptions and resentment. One person might feel unheard, while the other might think they're being misunderstood. This lack of clarity and understanding only fuels more frustration, leading to greater distance between the couple. Communication isn't just about talking, it's about listening with empathy and being open to your partner's feelings. It requires time, patience, and a willingness to understand and support one another. A simple, "How was your day?" or "How are you feeling?" can start the conversation that reopens the doors to understanding and healing. When partners engage in regular, open communication, they build a deeper bond and mutual trust. When couples work to improve communication, the results can be transformative. It's not just about talking more. It's about talking with intention and respect. Small conversations, shared moments, and genuine interest in each other's lives can rekindle a fading marriage. Re-establishing open communication paves the way for understanding, intimacy, and a stronger emotional connection. In today's fast-paced, social media-driven world, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing your spouse to others. Whether it's comparing their appearance, achievements, or the way they carry themselves, we often forget that our spouse is not a reflection of someone else's life. This type of comparison sets unrealistic expectations and robs us of appreciating the unique qualities of our partners. Instead of cherishing them for who they truly are, we begin to measure them against someone else, which leads to dissatisfaction and resentment. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us to accept and appreciate our spouses for who they are, without looking to others as a standard. In one hadith, he said, "Do not envy one another. Do not raise the prices of things by overpricing them through unfair comparisons." This profound teaching reminds us that comparison is not only unfair, but it also creates a barrier between love and understanding. When we stop comparing, we open our hearts to appreciating our spouse's uniqueness and all the qualities that make them our perfect partner. Constantly comparing your spouse to others can lead to feelings of inadequacy and hurt. This creates emotional distance and may lead to frustration and resentment. Rather than recognizing the strengths that make your spouse who they are, comparison focuses on the perceived deficiencies that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Over time, the emotional gap between you widens, leaving both partners feeling unseen, undervalued, and disconnected. Instead of focusing on how your spouse compares to others, choose to appreciate them for who they are. Every person brings unique qualities to the table, and these differences should be celebrated, not judged. Recognizing these qualities allows for a deeper connection and helps you to focus on building a partnership that is rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Celebrate the love you share and find joy in what makes your spouse special in your life. The bond you build will be much stronger when it is founded on appreciation rather than comparison. Rebuilding your marriage without comparison begins with a simple shift in mindset. Instead of comparing, start recognizing the small things your spouse does to make your relationship work. Acknowledge their efforts, the love they offer, and their individual qualities. When you shift your focus away from others, you will begin to see the beauty in your spouse and the strength of your partnership. This change not only strengthens your emotional bond, but also fosters gratitude, which can transform your relationship into one filled with mutual appreciation and love. Marriage is a sacred bond built on mutual respect, love, and understanding. In Islam, this relationship is not just about living together, but about fulfilling the rights and duties each partner owes to the other. Ignoring your spouse's rights is a grave mistake that can undermine the very foundation of your marriage. These rights, which have been outlined in the Quran and Hadith, are not just legalistic duties, but are also essential for nurturing a loving, peaceful, and respectful relationship. When these rights are neglected, both partners may feel disrespected and unappreciated, leading to emotional distance and eventual breakdown of the relationship. In Islam, the husband has certain rights over his wife, and the wife has certain rights over her husband. These rights are meant to protect and nurture the relationship, not to burden the partners. When these rights are ignored, it can lead to feelings of resentment and hurt. For instance, a wife has the right to be treated with kindness and respect, while the husband has the right to be supported and cared for. Ignoring these mutual rights can cause unnecessary conflicts, confusion, and dissatisfaction. One of the fundamental rights of a spouse is emotional support. Emotional support is crucial for a thriving marriage. It's about being there for your partner when they need someone to listen, understand, and encourage them. Both partners should always feel valued, heard, and understood. A partner's emotional needs are just as important as physical needs, yet often they are overlooked or neglected. This mistake, when ignored over time, can cause a deep emotional gap between partners, which is difficult to heal. Another important right is the right to financial support. The husband is generally obligated to provide for his wife and family, but this does not mean the wife cannot contribute to the financial well-being of the family if she chooses. Financial support is not only about money, it's also about ensuring a stable, safe, and comfortable home environment for both partners. Ignoring a spouse's right to security and financial support can cause stress and anxiety, leading to marital strain. Physical intimacy is another essential aspect of marriage, and both spouses have the right to fulfill each other's physical and emotional needs in a respectful and loving manner. Ignoring or neglecting this aspect can lead to feelings of rejection and loneliness. Physical intimacy is not just a duty, it is an act of love and connection that strengthens the bond between husband and wife. Islam encourages both partners to be considerate and understanding in this aspect of their relationship. The right to privacy and personal space is another right that is often overlooked. While marriage is about togetherness, each spouse is entitled to their own personal space and privacy. This respect for privacy helps build trust and ensures that both partners maintain a sense of individuality within the relationship. Ignoring this right can lead to feelings of suffocation, frustration, and resentment, creating an unhealthy dynamic in the relationship. Communication is key in any relationship, but when it comes to fulfilling each other's rights, it is essential. Ignoring your spouse's rights is often a result of poor communication, lack of understanding, or taking the relationship for granted. Communication is the bridge that connects both partners, and when it is weak, misunderstandings and neglect can occur. Open, honest, and respectful communication is the cornerstone of a healthy marriage, and it's important for couples to discuss their needs, desires, and expectations clearly and regularly. Ignoring the rights of your spouse is not just a failure in fulfilling an obligation, but also a failure in maintaining the sacred bond that marriage represents. When these rights are respected, both partners feel loved, supported, and understood. This mutual respect creates an atmosphere of peace, trust, and harmony within the home. To maintain a loving and respectful marriage, it's crucial to always be mindful of the rights you owe to each other. Ignoring these rights creates distance and dissatisfaction, but honoring them strengthens the relationship and fosters a sense of unity and togetherness. In Islam, marriage is not only a personal relationship, but also a spiritual one. When you respect and honor your spouse's rights, you fulfill a divine obligation and strengthen your connection not only to your partner, but also to Allah. Fulfilling each other's rights leads to a balanced, harmonious, and blessed relationship. By doing so, you are following the example of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who treated his wives with the utmost respect, care, and compassion, fulfilling all their rights to the best of his ability. When both partners respect and fulfill each other's rights, it leads to a balanced, peaceful, and loving relationship. In such a relationship, Allah's blessings flow, creating a home filled with peace, love, and contentment. This kind of marriage not only strengthens the bond between husband and wife, but also brings peace to the home, fulfilling the spiritual and emotional needs of both partners. In conclusion, the mistakes discussed in this video can significantly impact your marriage, but the good news is that they are all preventable with awareness, effort, and a strong commitment to change. By respecting your spouse's rights, fostering communication, and avoiding comparison, you are building a foundation that strengthens your relationship in ways that lead to peace and happiness. Remember, marriage is a blessing from Allah that requires constant care and nurturing, just as we nurture our faith. As you move forward, Commit to making your marriage a priority by practicing kindness, respect, and love in all aspects. Take action now. Reflect on your relationship and make the necessary adjustments. By being mindful of each other's needs and rights, you can create a stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling marriage. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more valuable content on relationships, marriage, and living a life guided by Islamic principles. Stay tuned for more insights and inspiration.